What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Imrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Imrik at last hunted down the very irritating remnants of Clan Rictus, destroying Tretch's army and thereafter acquiring the very lovely Craven by name trait and the 10% speed that it offered. We then proceeded to move towards the Sentinels, where the Overlords of Jarduk had probably their main stack, which we prompted to obliterate with the primarily Fireborn dishing out a massive amount of hurt. Pretty effective there, and we are starting to get more and more weakness to fire damage, so our army is getting stronger. Plus, we got that chest of sustenance out of that greater invocation of Vol, which really helps. And as Imrik's army gets more expensive, we will get even more use out of that upkeep reduction. Though I fear Imrik just doesn't have the points to go all the way to Quartermaster, as he'll probably run out, but it'll mean that we can build him up to be a very strong fighter over time. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, we're gonna proceed northward to destroy the Overlords of Jarduk, as well as try to grab a few islands like this shipwreck out here with the force at Ulthuan. That said, there is another thing that I've been considering, and that thing is, as we can see, our public order is in absolute shambles. And there is one way to fix it, a decent way, the Armor of Calidor battle, which will offer us a 25 control bonus for 2 turns. It's a pretty big swing of 50 control, and it'll fix the situation now that the debuff from Confederation is gone. Now, I don't know what we'll be facing off against here, so it'll be pretty tough, but our army is at full HP, and on top of that, it would be acquiring the final item for Imrik, which would give us that control bonus for all provinces as well. But more importantly, it would put him to rank 14 and get Menaethnir to awaken. And I feel like to get the Star Dragon to join us, it would be appropriate to do a great deed. In the lore, Menaethnir joined Imrik when Imrik lay dying on a battlefield. So, I don't know, it feels kind of right to fight a potentially very difficult battle in order to do that. So, that's what we're gonna do. We'll move him in a sec, but let's see what else we have to do this turn first, shall we? Now, Arathon, your thing is obvious. You're going to the shipwreck right here, but in regular stance. Yeah. Don't bother with the march stance, whatever. Oh, actually, I had another idea. Oh, what are you doing out here, Safari? Safari? What's the likelihood that they take this? I know that the AI is capable of taking islands, well, I guess we'll find out. Another idea I had was to get the defensive alliance going with Eataine. I don't really care about the actual perks of the defensive alliance, but it would enable us to get vision of Yvresse without us actually having to move all the way over here, so I think we'll do it. Plus, a little bit of cash for our trouble. And in theory, this will make at least some enemy AI a little bit less likely to declare war on us. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's the way it should, in theory, function. Anyway, now we have vision of Yvresse. They don't love us, but that'll change over time, especially if we declare war on some orcs while we're at it. In fact, wait, Yvresse, you're at war with the Seducers of Slaanesh and with Safari. You know, everybody seems to be at war with Safari right now, huh? And they have one territory which is currently besieged by Imrik. That's us. No, besieged by Tyrion. I think it might be a good idea to actually declare war on Safari just to get everybody friendlier. Are you at war with them? Yes. Man, what? I get that they made it so that Safari was corrupted by Slaanesh in this, but odd. Anyway, we'll declare war on Safari. Give us military access. Wait, what about Yvresse? Would you be willing to trade if we also join your war against Safari and Seducers? No, not quite. We're certainly not paying you 3.4k for it. A bit unfortunate. We could do the non-aggression pact, though. And a little bit of cash. No, we're not paying you that. Yeah, fine. Fine. No military access, I guess. You know what? Wait, how about just the Seducers of Slaanesh, or wait, how about just Safari? Oh, they don't actually care for us joining war against Safari. Wait, a moment. Do these guys actually want us to join the war against Safari? Actually, these guys do. Alright, so we'll join the war against Safri like this. With a little bit of cash. And get that military access. Just keep nice and friendly with the elves. And you, sir. We will do join war against the seducers of Slaanesh. Now, if you're wondering why I want to do this, you know, we'll actually get military access because it's easier to get non-aggression pact. It's just because all of the elves will love us being at war with Slaanesh. And if Slaanesh comes down here, well, we still have our army around, so do it. Alright, very nice. Very nice indeed. Still no trade agreement with Ivres, but we can certainly work on that. Alright, who is up next? Bel Herathoi. You are headed down to find us a Teclis, so keep on heading southward. And I don't believe there's anything to do building-wise, so we can now move Imrik out of the settlement, and I guess Phaedian, you can go into Lilith's Blessing right here, or right at the edge of this territory. Oh, you'll take attrition if you do this? Ah, you know what, you probably don't care all that much. We just need to make sure that we're close enough to the Tower of Gorgoth so that if we are to fight there next turn, that Imrik can actually reach it. Speaking of Imrik, ooh, he can actually encamp. Alright, that's good. Michaela, we're gonna level you up and we're gonna head on in. You will get... We could get another point in Flamestorm. We could get the Piercing Bolts of Burning. Cheap Flamestorm might be a good idea. Let's go for cheap Flamestorm. We're facing off against the undead in this particular battle by virtue of what it seems to say, which means Flamestorm should be relatively effective on a slow-moving faction like the undead. Anyway, that's about all we gotta do, so where's the Armor of Calidor? Let's give this a read. A vampire of an ancient order known as the Blood Dragons has come into possession of an important artifact, the Lost Gauntlet of Calidor the Conqueror. Like his sire, Aborash, the undead creature wants to overcome his cursed bloodthirst by drinking the blood of dragons. Knowing the gauntlet's significance, the fiend has obtained it as a means to get the Dragon Prince's attention. The vampire offers to fight Imrik in an honorable battle. Should Imrik win, it will willingly give up the gauntlet. If he loses, then the Blood Dragon will feed upon Imrik's dragons, as well as the Dragon Prince himself. Though it sounds much more like a threat than an offer, Imrik knows he has no choice in this matter, for the honor of his ancestors compels him to accept the challenge. Teleport. Wish it didn't cost money, but what can you do? Alright, and oh. Hey, wait, Dark Elves. Why are... This is interesting. We got Vampire Coast, we got regular Vampire Counts, and we got Dark Elves as well. Kind of maybe a pirate company, essentially. Bit odd for a Blood Dragon, but sure. What's your name? Maximilian the Dread Knight, Dick Halfmast, and Elon Drake Cleaver. Drake Cleaver, you say? I see what you did there, devs. And, ooh, he's got some items on him. We can steal some of that. Alrighty, I do believe we're good to go. Brazenly challenged by a blood dragon vampire, Imrik primes himself to fight for his ancestors' honor. The Dragon Prince's scouts have scoured the deserted island, chosen by the fiend to be the location of the battle. They report that even now, the vampire dons the gauntlet that once belonged to Calidor I. This affront to Imrik's homeland must be met with annihilation, then. Once the gauntlet is recovered, the armor of Calidor will be fully ensorcelled once more.
The Blood Dragon dons the lost heirloom of my bloodline. His minions may be many, but when he falls, his control will crumble, along with his shambling minions. The stench of gunpowder and brine is thick in the air, for the fiend brings undead artillerymen of the sea. Already they have dragged their rickety cannons onto the field. We must be wary of their bombardments. And what is this? He has brought some Druki thralls to battle with him. This vampire certainly knows how to get my attention. This indignity must be met with all the rage of Calidor. The vampire wishes to drink the blood of my allies, the mighty drakes, but he will do no such thing. I shall defeat him and send him and his minions back to their graves. It is done.
Ooh, I liked that speech by Imrik. Very, very nice. Great job to his voice actor for conveying the sort of I'm above this attitude that Imrik has. And I also like how he calls the dragons or the drakes in that particular speech his allies and not acting above them, as a dragon and rider are companions and equals. Though I guess it might depend on how the dragon thinks about it. But anyway, yeah, a really great speech there. Now, what I didn't like is the fact that in this particular quest spell, you don't get to deploy your formations, so we have to manually redeploy everything from the start, which is a bit of an issue, but we will deal. Anyway, the enemy is separated into three well-separate cohorts: the Dark Elves, the Vampire Counts, and the Vampire Coast. We don't actually really care about the Vampire Counts or the Dark Elves, simply because they're not a threat to us at range. They actually have to close the distance. The Vampire Coast, however, is an almost entirely range pile of units, and they have a bunch of stuff that could potentially threaten us. And so Michaela will get to work on them. The Phoenix of the Fiery Invocation rises above the, well, by the looks of it, already pretty dead trees, and will drop down and through the lines of the enemy Vampire Coast range units. Granted, not through the enemy artillery, but rather through the gunnery mobs, as well as the single unit of deck gunners here as well. That said, we've got a Burning Head as well available for the artillery pieces, and hopefully between these two spells, most of the Vampire Coast army will be cleared out. Alright, very nice. Let's see how that did. Well, the deck gunners are still alive, but pretty heavily damaged. One of the units of gunnery mobs got destroyed. The mortars are melting away, and by the looks of it, we're going to need to drop another spell. And drop another spell we shall, as a Flame Storm will activate right on top of those cannons, and hopefully do enough damage to melt, ideally, both of them away. Hopefully it moves this way as well. Alright. Not too bad at all, and while that isn't too bad, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't get another charge going, and so Imrik will move in with the Fireborn and the regular Dragon Princes as well to charge forth, take a little bit of damage, I'm sure, but we really need to knock out those enemy range units. Unfortunately, and let's just see this, there is an enemy bloated corpse. Now, this was visible from a distance, and I was thinking that, generally speaking, bloated corpses probably wouldn't do that much damage to the Fireborn and the Dragon Princes, and they did take only about 25% of their HP, but it was a little bit more than I expected. I expected them to take like 10%, because I remember running Demigryph Knights into bloated corpses before, and them taking basically no damage whatsoever. Probably what I should have done here, in fact definitely what I should have done, is run Imrik ahead of the formation and thereby allow the bloated corpse to detonate on Imrik, and thereby not having the Dragon Princes take any damage. But that's alright, the Dragon Princes definitely did their job, as that single charge carried them forth, dishing just enough damage to the Carronades, the last unit of Carronades, to melt them away, as well as killing off those deck gunners. The enemy have no longer any range, which threatens us, and our staunch spear line can now allow our archers to dish out the damage. Imrik and the Dragon Princes will return while we set up our battle line once again. Man, I really love an army that's themed like the Scions of Mathland for the entire army. And to be fair, that also goes for a bunch of different units of different factions. Some of the regiments of renown just look so cool, and it's a shame that you can't use them as like sort of late game costumes for most of your army. Anyway, our Sun Dragon, and not to be outdone by the rest of the army, will get the Dragon's Breath out on a unit of ranged Black Ark Corsairs. The Black Ark Corsairs, of course, have anti-large, and thus would be a threat potentially to the Sun Dragon, and generally speaking, speaking, our elites. Here comes the enemy Blood Dragon champion, though it hurts a little bit as Blood Dragons are my favorite vampires, and vampires are my favorite faction to go after Blood Dragon. At the very least, Blood Dragons want to die in battle anyway, or at the very least, want to face off against the strongest foes, and this is what you're going to get, my friend, though riding into the arrow storm may not be the best of ideas, especially away from the rest of your army. This is going to be a pretty big volley. Alright, and he's dropping by 15% HP. We're going to launch a fireball at him as well. I was hoping that the fireball would stagger the zombie dragon at the same time that it gets its dragon breath out, but unfortunately, it looks like it didn't. I've definitely had my own dragons in, well, previous campaigns get staggered by abilities before, including, I feel, magic missiles, but didn't quite work on the zombie dragon. Oh, well, not a big deal, but certainly a big deal to the sort of half of the high elven archers of this unit that perished under dragon fire, or, well, it's not really fire, but you know what I mean. Anyway, unfortunately for the enemy, it had to sort of sit there to get that zombie dragon breath out, and thus took a massive amount of damage. Imrik said, "You have my attention," to the Blood Dragon Knight at the start of the battle, but alas, he didn't hold that attention for very long as he goes down. Lovely. And the speech itself was a hint. I don't think I don't remember now, but I don't think the quest actually said this in, like, the quest objectives, or maybe it did, but the speech that Imrik made implied that once the vampire lord was gone, that his army would crumble away. And while it isn't quite exactly the case, it does force the Dreadlord, it does force the Dark Elves to abandon the fray. Except, yeah, okay, it forces all the Dark Elves to abandon the fray. And it forces the Vampire Count's units to melt away. It doesn't, however, do anything to the enemy Blood Knights, and by the looks of it, doesn't do anything to the enemy Vargulf as well. So, we'll have to deal with the Bat Hulk, and another Fireball comes in, and also doesn't stagger the Vargulf. Huh. A little bit disappointed that the Fireball doesn't have enough stagger to do that, but oh well, not a big deal. The Bat Hulk took a ton of arrow fire in the face, and then the dragon arrived to knock it away and down. And, what the heck? Did it just get up, or did it actually die? Oh, I think it wasn't dead when the dragon knocked it back, so it tried to get up, and then while in the midst of getting up, it died, causing us to sort of double up on the knockback animation. Anyway, here come the Blood Dragon Knights, or Blood Knights, I should say, not Blood Dragon Knights, and we're going to charge them with Imrik, as well as our own Fireborn and Dragon Princes, forcing them to attempt to run away. But if they back up, they'll hit the dragon, and if they back up further, they'll get riddled with arrows. So, not a place they want to be. Alright, those guys are down. Here comes another set of Blood Knights, but they're melting away. And they're also under fire from all the arrows, including our fire arrows, as well as our armor-piercing heavy arrowheads. And I do believe that was the last of the units that were potentially a threat to us. Most of the damage came from the enemy's zombie dragon breath by the looks of it, as well as that darn bloated corpse. Though fortunately, since the bloated corpse did not kill off any of our dragon princes, we are looking pretty good. And this should level us up to level 14, and give us the Armor of Calidor. I also wonder what the heck that is. Oh, it looks to be a ludicrously giant dragon skull by the looks of it. Either that or some... No, the horns and stuff makes it look like a dragon skull. Not a Dreadsaurian skull. But it's a big one. Alright, that wasn't too bad at all in my opinion, and that's 6.2k XP, that's more than enough to level up to 14. Beautiful. Looks like Michaela did pretty well as usual, and I think she was pretty critical to the victory as she was able to knock out all the enemy artillery as well as the enemy deck gunners, and before they could really achieve anything. And they were the biggest threat on the field to us, especially considering the, well, aside from the zombie dragon breath, which ripped apart one of our units of high elven archers, the enemy blood dragon wasn't really an issue because he simply got focused down by elven arrows. Otherwise, we are going to take the ransom captives as we usually do for the cash, because we'll be in our own territory anyway, and we will get a bonus. Oh right, we got the draining winds last episode. Our growth is already horrendous, and now we have a minus 20 growth for 10 turns. Man. Oh, that's nasty. Oh well. Not in a good way. Ransom captives. And there we are with that. Imrik not only earns the fully ensorcelled armor of Calidor, but Menaethnir has awoken. Menaethnir is basically the only star dragon to awaken. For those unfamiliar with the lore, when you're wondering why the dragons are sleeping, basically, a long time ago when the old ones came to the Warhammer world, they pulled some shenanigans. You know how the Slann like to move continents around? Well, the old ones like to move planets around, so they kind of shifted the orbit of the entire planet. Dragons, being reptiles, found this not so great because of being cold-blooded, and thus they got all sleepy due to the temperature. The Celestial Dragon Emperor of Cathay was one of the exceptions, who decided to stay awake and sort of watch over the, the barbarian humans that would eventually turn to the Cathayan civilization, etc., etc. But most of the dragons went to sleep. Anyway, Menaethnir and Armor of Caledor. We got a big buff on Imrik, and we certainly need it now that he's a massive target, but I think it'll be worth it. Also, the Armor of Caledor gives us a heal, though it prevents us from moving and reduces our melee defense. 30 seconds, but it is a pretty huge heal, so we should be fine. And the good thing about the heal being tied to the armor for Imrik is that he can continue using the Chest of Sustenance without having to hopefully rely on the potion of healing that we got last episode. Also, we got another point available. No Dragon Pact as yet, though you would think. Let's go for another point in... Let's go for another point in Dragonheart. And then we'll go astride the battlefield. And oh, before I forget, we also want to get a noble on the field. So we... Ooh. +2 for basically all the basic units. Spears, Silvern Guard, Rangers, Archers, Gate Guard, and Lothern Sea Guard, as well as Shadow Warriors and Silver Helms. That's pretty nice. But not as nice as Dynamo. Even more speed. Yes, please. And oh, Percussive gives us the charge bonus, but there's a degree to which you don't really need to stack charge bonuses. There are limitations to it. So I think I'd rather have the speed than the charge bonus, but it's certainly something to consider in the future if we get another... if we need another noble. I don't remember what nobles actually do other than these buffs, so let's see. So logistics, Horsemaster buffs, not Dragon Princes, unfortunately. Years of experience buffs you personally, construction time reduction... Growth, eh? Well, isn't that nice? Favored by Kane. Okay, so none of this buffs any specific units. I just wanted to see whether there would be a reason to get multiple nobles in this particular army, but it seems like the one should do. They don't seem to do anything that would be particularly in need of being stacked for this particular army. It's really too bad that Horsemaster doesn't do anything for Dragon Prince. It's all but surprising. Not quite a Horse Master, then, are you? You're whatever is below Master. Anyway, Horse Apprentice. Alright, well, the rest of that looks good. The most important thing we want out of these guys is that replenish troops and that dynamo as well. Alright, so you're going to join Imrik's army, but not this turn. Imrik, you're more or less going to heal to full. In fact, if we encamp, we will heal to full. So go right to the edge of this territory and we'll proceed to the Tower of Gorgoth next turn. Just gotta make sure we move Phaedian up so that she can help out. We also got a level on Michaela there. And I guess one more point in Earthing, she's overcasting constantly. I think that's the first time I didn't rush Piercing Bolts of Burning, but she's been having such a good time with the rest of her spells that it isn't a huge deal. Alright, the rest of you look good. Now, building will be built next turn. We got a few turns in which our public order will hopefully fix itself. And I don't think we're going to change anything about that at the current time. Double check Diplo one more time. It's just Tyrannoch. And we're definitely not piecing out with the overlords of Jarduk. We might even want to raise the territories belonging to the Dripping Fangs instead of moving all the way up here. It might be safer to do that, leave them to ruin, or even possibly gift them to... I think these guys aren't technically beside them, but if we gift them to dwarfs, they might be able to take over the northern parts of the Darklands, which would allow us to move down here and to the Dragon Isles. Seems like the thing. Anyway, unassigned skill points, building upgrade available, outpost available, and end the turn, unless I'm mistaken. Who was the outpost available to? Oh, it's with Eataine. Yeah, we don't need an outpost with Eataine. We're fine, we're fine. End turn. Alrighty, Devout for Phaedian. She has more Winds of Magic. Oh, damn, another armor belonged to these guys. You want us to declare war on Scourge of Cain, eh? I mean, we could certainly use the Shrine of the Widowmaker. If we power up this army just a teensy bit more, we might want to push up their decline. At least for now. If we do end up joining war against them early, we actually want to get something for it. Also, while the turn is ending, yes, of course, we did reach the engagement threshold, so this will be an hour-long episode, and if we reach 500 likes and I think it was 60 comments, the next episode will be an hour long as well. Also, if the streak continues for this particular episode as well, then tomorrow we'll do a double episode day, because it'll be a double episode Wednesday. Alright, Winds of Magic Power Reserve from Devout for Phaedian. Great. Can Imrik reach Tower of Gorgoth? Yes, he can. Oh, Phaedian wouldn't have been able to do anything about that anyway, because she doesn't have Siege Attacker. Yes. Alright, Imrik, assuming there's nobody else around. And I wonder how we found Clan Moors. I think what might have happened... because we can't see any of their armies, unless one of their armies moved by, and I'm not sure that it did, since Sump Pit clearly hasn't been sacked. What might have happened is that there is now a Clan Moors outpost in Bitter Bay, or Clan Moors settlement in Bitter Bay. The concerning aspect of this is if that is the case, they might be able to kill Bel Harathor. Frankly, we don't actually care, because just a random basic lord, and with no buffs, and is ridiculed. But nonetheless, she has a techless to find, so a techless finding she shall go. I suppose I could have checked if there was something at Bitter Bay, but yeah, well, too late. It's not... oh, actually. Considering it has a landmark, it's a pretty decent landmark as well. You know what? Maybe try to land there next turn. An extra turn won't make a difference. Either we find techless or we don't. You, to the tower.
They are nothing.
And what do we have here? Close victory. On the one hand, I can't say I like that. On the other hand, we have an extra turn of the massive casualty replenishment, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. Phaedian, you can keep in Lilith's Blessing. Imrik, assuming you can't switch to Noble Prestige. And... looks like we just can't reach it with you. So close, though. Okay, what if you move here? Would you still be in range? Nah, you wouldn't be in range, damn. A shame, but oh well. Phyron, whatever. You're gonna move up here then, and we'll send you to the Gates of Jar instead. You better not get immediately assassinated, considering we paid influence for you. That would be a real shame. Anyway, you to the Tower of Gorgoth, please. I'll resolve it. Damage aside, we should be able to heal more or less to full anyway. And it's not like it looks like a battle that's worth battling. Dragon Scale Shield. Not horrible for a common item. It doesn't need to go on you. And ooh, wait, Imrik, did you get the... yeah, you did. You did get the armor. Good. Was a brief concern. You two stay here. And Imrik, you got another level for yourself. Let's get you astride the battlefield. Alright, nearly maxing out his unique line. It'll have to wait for another turn, though, as we will want to get those piercing bolts of burning out of Dragon Pact. I guess we can double up on it if we use Michaela, or, well, we might switch to another Fire Mage later on, so it might change. Marathon. I knew it. I frickin' knew it. They grabbed the bloody island. Yeah, bunch of jerks. Where are you going? He's got, what, like 7 more turns until he can declare war on us? Let's just out of curiosity. Yeah, three more turns. So, yeah, 3, not 7. The opposite, you know what I mean. It's a little bit concerning. Hopefully he doesn't attack us. Well, either way, we can destroy this little army. Oh, it's got some eagles. Too bad we can't steal the eagles. Hey, join us instead. And we could probably auto-resolve this. Yeah. And then take money. Lovely. We're about to build a bunch of stuff after all, so it makes sense to do so. Then you can land right here at Lothern, and hopefully, because there are allies, you can heal there, and then proceed, I guess, back towards Val's Anvil. Oh! You couldn't land. Huh. That's not good. That's not good for a number of reasons, but, well, I guess you're not healing this turn. Oh well, what can you do? I really wanted to make use of that casualty or punishment trade. I should have just landed here. That was my bad. Oh well, I guess you'll be replenishing slowly, sir. Good luck to you. Anyway, let's do the building that we've been saving up for. A little back and forth, and Fortress of Vorag, start you up, and then switch back to, I guess, Tribute to the Phoenix King? I mean, our control will be okay. Maybe switch back to Growth then. Yeah, that's fine. Next up, Black Fortress. I guess we're upgrading you as well. Also expensive. And at the Darkhold, we can build the Homestead as well. I assume we won't be able to upgrade you immediately, so we can also switch you right back to the Growth thing. Banish Corruption. Crookback Mountain, you will be ready to upgrade Mount Greyhag in a couple turns, so I guess you can just keep growing. Or, nah, you know what? Let's go rebuild Lost Splendor for a turn so we can build up the Iron Mine and stuff. Oh man, look at the garrisons. Oh, the terrible, terrible garrisons. I definitely need factions to be protecting our flanks. I always do a non-aggression pact with Karakazul temporarily. Like, frankly, they seem to be having a tough time with the Skaven in general. And we're a little bit too busy to be fighting with the dwarfs right now, so even if we do betray them, we can betray them later. Imperial Wardens, we can non-aggress with you.
Agreed.
And anybody else. Still Tiranoc. Northern provinces getting closer there. Gotta get those Cathan allies, mostly for their units. And Eotain wants us to do a mission, but I don't think we get any mileage out of it. We're gonna get any real benefit out of that. We're still very much negative in income because we have that extra army that we weren't intending to build, but also because 3 of our provinces aren't collecting income right now. In fact, 4 of our provinces aren't collecting income right now, so yeah. Oh, I also noticed that there is a minor settlement at the Gates of Jar. Should be worth a fight. And Phaedian, let's get to you, Shield of Thorns. It's a great spell into potential energy, and God, you really need your steed. And we gotta get that regrowth and Dwellers Below ASAP. Alright, looks good to me. Skip, 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 and in the turn, let's see what those Vampire Coast guys do. Overlords of Jarduk are pretty much done, so that they're probably not a threat to us. I don't imagine Dimzad Asgal will be able to do anything. I take it these guys are towards the end of the turn order. And there they go. Yep, he's going to return to the Gates of Jar and recruit a few units. Allied against Outpost Construction, that's fine. Faction destroyed Safari, we kind of helped out with that. And they've moved past us, eh? That's kind of interesting. Alright, well, I guess we're going to switch to you to rebuild Lost Splendor and then pop you into the Haven. Can we collect the income here? -6? Not really. Man, our public order is just horrendous. That's with the colonnade and stuff. That's with the colonnade and with the armor. And faction size is the only negative we have, and we're still at -6. Damn. What can you do? Do these things offer us any public order? No, they don't. I mean, main structures. Oh well, we'll need the requisite research then as soon as we can. Where is this guy? Well, I was gonna send you here, but if you're not actually coming for us, we could ignore it and then hit... Let me guess, this guy's gonna grab that island? We're not getting any mileage out of that Matland's Blessing. I wonder if this is their only army. I'm almost tempted to sail over here to see if we can just knock out the Maelstrom. We might be able to spot some islands. Granted, if they have a full stack, it could be a concern. Well, don't suffer sea attrition. We'll see what these guys do. I'd honestly be maybe not happy. No, he is reviving. And what do we have in terms of Galleon's Graveyard's defenses? Oh, they're actually building a defensive street. Yeah, there's no way. We wouldn't win this. That's alright. We'll win it once we have a slightly stronger army. Or at least a mage to dish out damage to the weaker enemies. Anyway, Imrik, and you've got to move again, sir, and this time we'll be fighting the fight manually. And... Are you serious? You can't reach the Gates of Jar? Oh, that's a real shame. Huh. I thought you'd be able to. Well, I guess you're gonna encamp then. And encamp right to there. Theodin, you will stay in the Lathes Blessing, I guess, because you can heal yourself, and I guess we're gonna need to get rid of another spear unit. We'll keep the High Elven Rangers just because, I don't know, they offer a little bit of variety to the army, and eventually we'll replace them with more Dragon Princes, but right now there's no need. Replenish troops. Like so, that'll help, and we'll hit the Gates of Jar next turn before turning back towards the Demon's Stump. Bel Herethoi.
Magic. Ready yourselves.
5,000 gold colonization cost. I mean, even if it is empty, I wouldn't spend 5,000 gold to colonize the place, at least not right now, so I think we'll still sail down the coast. And clearly we didn't get attacked by rats, at least not at that time. What is this? Remnants of Battle. You know what? Go into it. Next turn we'll see if it's one of the ones where you need to fight. I think Remnants of Battle unfortunately is, but who knows. What about... Court of Libaras. You are currently fighting Ironbrow's expedition, but are reasonably friendly with us, but not so friendly that you'd be willing to trade, meaning we can ignore you. At least for now. And we're still negative income, but getting a little bit better. You can still grow, just have to double check the commandments here. You can still grow, and you... Oh, right. We do want to build stuff here. Crookback Mountain, let's go for Iron Mine. And honestly, now that we're investing in the territory, we're probably better off building the stone walls. There's no guarantee that anybody will attack the place, but unlike the minor settlements, I'd really prefer not to lose it. I mean, there's a bunch of other useful stuff like the colonnade that we could have here to reduce the public order issues, but I think we still need walls here. I might replace them with the colonnade later, but not on a territory that, well, I mean, we have to have walls in a territory that's bordering enemies. And even with the walls, the defenses are pretty lackluster at the current level. Anyway, you can stay and rebuild Lost Splendor simply because there will be other stuff to upgrade, including marble. Just out of curiosity, does marble reduce construction costs for elves? Yes, indeed it does. Well, that's lovely. That'll help this province out immensely. And I think the rest of this is fine as it is. I mean, we could upgrade the manors here. I guess we can wait a turn and then switch because these havens need to be built as well. Ah, we have marble in 2 places. That's actually really nice. I didn't realize that. More construction cost reduction. We certainly need it. Anyway, skip, and end the turn. Let's head to the Gates of Jar. Alright, and while the turn is ending, before I forget, for those unaware, I think I mentioned this in my Kislev campaign, or at least I intended to. Venrus and the SFO team, the guys behind the mod, do have their own game coming out. It's called Whispers of the Eyeless, and it's kind of like a Darkest Dungeon sort of vibe, combined with cult management and sort of a roguelike fighty time. It's pretty darn fun. I did play the demo on Steam, and certainly wanted to keep on playing once the demo ended. So, check it out if you haven't heard about it. You may enjoy it enough to join their Kickstarter, and if you love SFO, it's certainly a decent way to support them as well. Anyway, Payments Peace Treaty. No. Do we pull the same thing that we did against the... against the other works here? Wait. Decline this for now. Well, not for now, just generally. Oh, they're gonna run. Naval Discipline, Sword of Cain claimed a Thilmar Chariot for Michaela. Would it be better to have her on the steed? She's at 96 speed on the chariot and 114 speed on the steed. Hard to say. On the one hand, it's certainly useful to have the chariot, and it's a lot heavier armor. You know what? We'll try it out. You just got to be careful. If the chariot doesn't have enough mass and it gets bogged down in troops too much, then I don't think I'll bother with the repeated micro that it requires. Anyway. Ooh. Got black orcs in that army, huh? I mean, what's the likelihood that they don't occupy the place? It could happen.
Strategy beyond compare.
You know, I'm inclined to say that we take it anyway. I don't want to waste the turn. They might try to move past us towards the demon stump, they might not, but we aren't as reliant on doing this as we were previously, so I think we'll be okay. You go right here. And Imrik, you are going to switch to Noble Prestige, and you will strike at the gates of Jar.
We will prevail.
And, ooh, there's that army of theirs, and... we actually need to fight this garbage. It's a little bit weak. Too many goblin laborers and orc laborers, and... I think we're okay. Auto-resolve is going to hurt the poor rangers again, but what can you do? Honestly, it barely even hurt them. Occupy. Alright, and honestly, getting a little bit more damage on us from the auto-resolve might not necessarily be a bad thing, as it might prompt the colonnade. Oh wait, we should wait until the demons stump. Shouldn't we? Well, maybe not. It's not going to be a crazy reduction anyway. Yeah, it's fine. Build the growth and the other stuff. And might prompt these guys to actually try and attack Imrik. Certainly a possibility. I guess we'll find out later. Then what we'll want to do is check out other building stuff. So you are now ready to switch to Rebuild Lost Splendor. We need to fight because we're losing money. You are fine as you are in Banish Corruption. That was 2. There was another one, right? Yeah, you. Let's upgrade the Haven and Mount Greyhag. Then we will upgrade the Marble here, or you know what? We could upgrade the Haven next turn when we have additional reduction. In fact, we should probably upgrade this twice for 20% reduction to all buildings. Yeah, fine. We could even save a little bit of cash by undoing the Iron Mine and redoing it after. How much did it cost, just out of curiosity? 2,400, so it probably cost 1,200. It's probably not worth it. That's fine. What about out here? Force of Thigh, I'm still into upgrading you, though the money is a little bit iffy. But we probably still should. And then switch you right back to growth. Then Arathond, I guess you're going to move a non-march stance, because we don't know whether we'll get hit by like a rogue army or something like that, rogue fleet. I'm hoping there might be some islands around here, and there very well might be in the dark of the fog of war. Technology, you're up next. What do we have here? Militia training, appoint Sea Masters. I'm gonna say Swift Sense to buff up the Eagles a little bit. Horse Masters, funnily enough, also doesn't give any recruit rank for the Dragon Princes. Alright, fair enough. At least they're consistent. Bel Herathor. Alright, see if this needs a fight or not. It does not. Fill cargo. And did this give you anything? The upkeep reduction one. Oh well. Not super useful on you. Keep going this way. Down the coastline, you'll find some lizards, you'll find a few other things, but it's techless that you really need to find. But also you need to avoid the finding Kairos. Let's double check for corruption here. Ooh, Dawnzite has fallen. Tor Serpendar has fallen. That's not good. Hopefully Techless remains alive. Well, there would have been no way that we could have reached him in time anyway. And we just couldn't afford it. Frankly, we can't really afford it right now, but anyway. Let's just hope that he remains out there somewhere, or gets confederated by another High Elven faction. Black Fortress, we will be ignoring you until we can build the Sentinels and reduce the construction costs. You're the same, and I believe that's another end turn. Well, let's see what these orcs do. Skip. Did I check Diplo this turn? Let's find out. Ivres, kind of near to that non-aggression pact, not quite as much as we'd like. That strategic threat is really working overtime for them not liking us. But I think nothing here that we can get any kind of advantage of. Alright, end turn. And we do have decent amounts of influence once again, so we can keep an eye out on potential heroes that we could use. Dusty, what you gonna do? You gonna attack us? You gonna go after Dimzad? You gonna head down to the Demon Stump? You have options, if nothing else. You better not just stay there and raid. That's what he's gonna do, isn't it? He's gonna stay there and raid. No, he's gonna go down here. Ooh, you're dead, Dusty. We'll take this opportunity to kill you. Jade Custodians, Confederated. Imrik can, in fact, reach you in Noble Prestige stance. Bloody lovely. I'm gonna go right here. And we got some gobos to burn. Faction destroyed Scabby Eye, the Nemesis Crown. Yeah, I'd love to get the Nemesis Crown, but it's a little bit far because it's always in the damn Empire. Alright, well, this one we're going to fight cinematically. There's a big old blob of enemies to kill after all. Noble, you're going to max out Replenish Troops first because it's going to be highly useful to us. And Michaela now has Arcane Conduit for a little bit more spell mastery. Onward and... oh wait, who are you at war with? Lamian Sisterhood and Overlords of Jarduk, and that's it. So we can't ask anybody to declare war on them. Oh, Elity. Go.
The last Phoenix.
Oh, there you go. Oh man, they might try to return to the Gates of Jar next turn. Certainly potential. But anyway, this is a big enough blob, and they got some black orcs that are worth fighting, so fight it. We shall, and for once, the auto resolve won't be hurting our High Elven Rangers. Go.
The dragons!
Alrighty, for the dragons indeed, and perhaps for one specific dragon, as Meneathnir will debut. Sadly, perhaps against a goblin rabble. A little bit overkill, I would say, but it's alright. We'll get tougher opponents here. And besides, there are 2 Black Orc units here, which may be of some threat. Plus, I'm also interested to experiment a little bit with the Ithilmar Chariot that Michaela now has to ride, at least until she gets her own Sun Dragon to do more fire things on. Alright, well, she can get ready to cast a few spells while we get our first Star Dragon Breath from Meneathnir right into a unit of Black Orcs. Let's see how much damage this does. The good thing about the Star Dragon Breath is it's effective both against single entities and blobs of units as well. The Sun Dragons being more specialized, for example, against blobs of infantry. Anyway, looks like that's 25 kills and 6.4k damage and almost half HP from the unit of Black Orcs, which, considering they're the biggest threat on the field, is pretty darn solid. There we go, and Meneathnir pounces upon them just as the Dragon Princes charge on in. Beautiful. Beautiful combined attack from the both of them, and the charge of both the Dragon and the Dragon Princes obliterates the Black Orcs, dropping their HP down to 15% and forces them to rout. Out here, our Sun Dragon got a breath off and is now just sort of flying back a little bit, while Michaela got a few spells off, getting through nearly 400 kills, and is now riding around in the oil-slick water, waiting for more enemies to move on in. She's quite quick on that chariot, as long as she doesn't... sorry about that. Press the wrong button with the camera. I want to see how well she charges. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. I was not expecting to have enough for her to have enough mass to actually do that. Oh, I like that quite a bit. She's able to knock back orcs as well. Okay, looks like we can certainly keep her on the chariot for now then. Anyway, in the meantime, Meneathnir and Imrik and the Dragon Princes are causing havoc in the backlines. A few of the enemies will attempt to charge our main line, but probably not particularly effectively. There is an enemy lord out here somewhere, but we can simply charge towards it with Meneathnir. I love that pounce animation, so adorable. The dragons just remind me of doggos pouncing on things. And there we go, and we get some air on Black Orcs despite being at point-blank range. Oh, you know what? I kind of like the sort of brownish, sort of yellow-brown kind of color scheme that these guys have. Anyway, Imrik's clearly obliterated the enemy lord, but yeah, I like this kind of color scheme on the orcs. It makes the black orcs' armor sort of look dirty, and I really like that. I mean, you don't really expect the... Well, I mean, I guess the orcs could tell their goblin minions to shine their armor for them, but, you know, a decent bit of the time they probably wouldn't care. They're just strapping a bunch of iron to themselves and using the thickness of it, generally speaking, to deal. Certainly not upkeep of the armor. Anyway, those black orcs are just about done. Most of the enemy units are in disarray. In fact, the entire army is in disarray, and looks like the battle will be ours. Let's give him a nice send-off with one more Star Dragon Breath from Menaethir, clipping Michaela just a little bit, but she should have the fire resistance to not really care about that all that much. The last of the enemy army will break, and with that, the battle will be ours. Alright, well that was an absolutely horrifying experience for poor Dusty, though I do wonder where he actually got those black orcs. A little bit early, it feels, for those, but whatever. Either way, we got a decent amount of cash as a reward. As usual, the Fireborn and do massive amounts of damage and get massive amounts of kills. Imrik, no slouch at 115 and 20k for himself, and Michaela for 20. Nice, and massive amounts of kills as well. Ransom those captives. Though it always feels weird to be ransoming orcs. How would orcs even pay a ransom? With teeth? What what? I don't know, but anyway, Regiment of Renown unlocked. Aetanian Vintner, control +4 for Phaedian. Probably not on Phaedian, probably would be better on Arathon, as... Where are you here? Oh, you can have a bard too. And Aetanian Vintner, there we go. Once you land at Vol's Anvil, then you can get us a little bit of cash from that. Or cash. Get a little bit of control. I don't know why I said cash. Got money on my mind. Let's see. Noble Prestige, you can't heal. Oh, you have no way to... Huh. Actually, if we march stance, we could move... Actually, no, that does nothing for us. Yeah, looks like we've nothing we can do but suffer attrition. Alright, fine, Lilith's blessing it is then. So then what we can do is move as close as physically possible to the demon's stump. And then, we didn't invest in the Gates of Jar, did we? Actually, we kind of did a little bit, but whatever. And then both of you will move here. We'll use Phaedian to take the stump and then move outward. Also, we need to keep an eye on how Goldtooth is doing, and Kiranok. Yeah, why y'all hating on us? Stop it. Carolina Blue Roses? No, I don't care about you. I care about... Well, I do care about Ivras and the potential trade agreement that we got, but what I really care about is Goldtooth, and any potential agreements we can get going with them. They don't particularly like us, because aversion and strategic threat are getting kinda big there. Also fighting Karakazorn, but I don't think that's an issue for us. We can trade them some beards for whatever they want to use them for. Anyway, let us build the Sentinels up. And I guess next turn we'll be buffing up some more stuff here. Then we can go to Mount Greyhag, build up the Marble Quarry. And I guess we'll wait for one more turn to buff up these things as well. How about here? Ooh, you can switch to Rebuild Lost Splendor, and we'll be building up the Tower of the Bloody Tooth here as well. Alright. Alright. And there's Grimgor. Yeah, I don't like how close he is to us. Who is he fighting right now? He's fighting Karakazorn, the Warhost of Jar, and the Center Lords of Jin Shen. If we could maybe get Uzkalak / Astrogoth Ironhand to start fighting him, that would be swell. Because I want to move Imrik down here. We could always also send keep a basic army out here to deal with him if it comes down to it. Anyway, Arathond. Go this way. Wait. There's a sea corpse right there. I was kind of blending into the territory. Loot carcass, and yeah, just ought to resolve that. And then take the money. We'll certainly need it. Let's see what we get out of that. I think it's just the money. Oh, he's got Seasoned Campaigner already. Monster of the Sea, no buffs unfortunately, but we got the We got the money that came with it. I guess we'll need to land then.
Be vigilant.
No choice.
Threats abound.
Mostly just because our public order is... well, public order could use that. Oh, wow, you barely heal at all. You know what? I think you're gonna need a noble. Frugal. Ah, another dynamo. That's nice. Too bad the other guy is gone, but... I think dynamo is pretty much always great. Ooh, this noble with frugal with the ammunition increase could be great for our ranged army. And the other ones are nothing to write home about, I think. Yeah, let's get the other dynamo. The frugal does tempt me, don't get me wrong. I wish he didn't cost so much money, but if we're keeping this army around, and by the looks of it we have to, we are going to, well, keep it around. Oh, you know what? Oathwan is doing a lot better than I thought it would be at the current time. I think perhaps what happened in the Kislev campaign, the reason that they got absolutely destroyed was because they... I'd actually want to attack these guys. They got some good stuff. Take Toralier. Nobody likes this High Elven faction, it seems. At least not enough for them to care whether we attack them. Certainly an option. What was I saying? Yeah, I think maybe what happened was Noctilus destroyed this coastline, and it made the other other High Elves sufficiently weak. At least that's my guess on the matter. Anyway, Bel Harathoi, keep moving southward. See if you can't find a few more island pickups, if you can. I fear Teclis might be dead, but we should still move down here to find out for sure. Also, how do the last defenders feel about the court of Libaras? Where is the last defenders? Here you go. So, you don't like us all that much, and we may have to kill you later. I would actually love to ally with you. Oh, they're actually quite friendly with them. And you're all fighting the Ironbrows expedition. You know what, I think... This might be a reason that it might be a good idea to preemptively declare war on the Ironbrows expedition just to get all the factions that hate them to like us. Certainly potential. Also, you're still negative public order, would you please? I mean, damn, alright. Where is the positive public order? We got 4 here. And even on -6 for a few turns, I think we should collect the income for a bit. Although, wait. When we take 2 turns, we can upgrade Darkhold at least. Ah, damn. Yeah, this place isn't too bad. But that basically is all of our growth gone. And we really do want to upgrade Calidor as fast as possible to get that upkeep reduction for dragons. It's pretty necessary. Although you are balanced in control at least. You also have no growth buildings, which we would need to build in Torsathai. You know what, I think we're going to let Val's Anvil be in this current state for a little bit. It's just that our money situation is just horrendous. We could also reduce the number of units we have, but no. Outpost available end turn. I think we... Oh, wow. Huh. I saw one of the Cathian factions have, like, no balance of power compared to us. I fear that that particular faction might be destroyed. The western province, I think it's probably the northern provinces. The western provinces usually die a lot later. So Thara, what you want? Defensive alliance? No. No real purpose to it. Alright, get to get... Ooh, Confederation between last defenders in Zlatlan and Tower of Gorgoth the Dragon sighted. Yes, well, ow. Guess we can push Imrik towards this. Hello, what do we have here? Stock Vanguard deployment for archers and spears. Ooh, this will be really nice for a basic sort of army. Yes. Okay. What do we have to do for that? Upgrade a territory to tier 5. Okay, that's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while, especially since we don't have near the kind of buffs to growth that we have in Kislev. Anyway, Tower of the Bloody Tooth. We gotta do it. It provides a solid garrison for the place as well. And because public order is being just very, very ugly, we'll upgrade the entire province. Then we will switch for a little while to tribute to the Phoenix King, I think, for the public order. Yeah, we need to grow the Bone Gulch as well, but no, you know what? It's still a priority to grow the Bone Gulch. The thing is, The Dragon Prince... Imrik can get Dragon Princes for very cheap. 347. I mean, it's more expensive than spears and other such things, but it's very cheap for what they are. Demon Stump doesn't look like it's worth fighting, so we will send you in little Noble Prestige to go here. And we'll send Imrik to reinforce, and also Noble Prestige. Like so. Opal Amulet, nothing to consider, but it's fine now. Occupy.
I claim it for Hoeth. Magic in purest form.
Vortex Shard, hello. Hex of the Winds, power recharge minus 100% out, and this is a blue item? Really? Doesn't feel like a blue item to me. This is green at best. Well, it's okay. Maybe we can turn it into a better blue item. You can now go into... I guess... construction. Partly because we'll be able to upgrade the Tower of Gorgoth relatively quickly, but also partly because we need the extra campaign movement range in the province. The last little army belonging to those Chaos Doors will probably hit the Gates of Jar, and I fear that we won't be able to reach them. Plus, we have to briefly send Imrik up here to burn down a few of these orky, goblin-y territories, and then peace out with them for money or something. I haven't decided how we're going to deal with that one as yet. Anyway, here we're going to upgrade Mount Greyhag for 1450. Very nice. And I guess the manor as well. Just got to be careful about bankrupting ourselves now. And we'll switch you to Tribute to the Phoenix King rather than Growth. Alright, what about you? Tower of Gorgoth, the Gates of Jar, you're fine for now. Black Fortress. We need a colonnade here. At 800 or Plaza, we'll build it right now. But the next portion of it, we will wait until we've got the marble up and running. So I think we'll wait on that. You're okay, and then Fortress of Vorag, there is nothing to be built here, so you are switching briefly to Banish Corruption. Money is dropping, continuing to drop rather. You're gonna go here. Really hope you don't accidentally find Kairos. I see Krokgar. Who's he moving towards? I have no idea. Huh. Weird. What's the likelihood that if we declare war on the Greybeard's Prospectors? You know what? I still think we should. You will do a non-aggression pact, Kalida. Yes. Yes, you won't trade, but that's okay. This will make both Kalida and hopefully the Last Defenders friendly with us, and frankly, getting some ancient salamanders and a few of our armies wouldn't go amiss either. Wait, does he not like our being friendly with Kalida? Huh, treaties with the Court of Libaris. I thought they were looking friendly. They are looking friendly, so... Oh, that's a one-way... Damn. It's unrequited love, people. That's what happens. It's one way. Oh, well. What can you do? Hopefully we can maintain reasonable friendliness with them. I should have double-checked it. I should have checked it both ways. Wink. Anyway, you, sir, need to go briefly to the dragon encounter. And then up northward. This is a different dragon herald, yes, Lamoureux. To most elves, most mortal men are unremarkable in their appearance, but when a Norscan marauder is spotted near to the camp, it does not go unnoticed. As you approach the bearded burly man, you can clearly see he is weather-beaten from many battles, unsurprising for his ilk, but strangely his tattoos bear the imagery of dragons, a far cry from the chaos etchings typically scarred into the skin of most of these primitive, misguided men. Well, no, they could have tattoos of chaos dragons. Norscans a lot of Norscans have tattoos, and I can see them tattooing chaos dragons. And I feel like, considering Norscans are like Viking-based, I feel like there were Viking dragon imagery, but anyway. The marauder grunts in a barely understandable primitive tongue that he is the Herald of Lamoureux, a legendary moon dragon of great power, known to dwell with monsters of the cold, frozen north. Such a powerful dragon is worth reaching out to, but what message would you have the Herald send back to its dragon master? It's a pretty massive buff. However... Hey, we can't afford it. We'll do the Ritual of War. Challenge the dragon. This won't send us into the fight immediately. which is good. Special Dragon Lammer of the Frozen Path. Is this the one that creates a massive vortex? And I think this is one of the harder ones, funnily enough. Moontouch Spear, Wind Blast, Frostbite attacks. Ooh, that'll be nice. Oh, and we still get the Lamoros, but I mean, you get all the rewards afterwards anyway. Anyway, we can't do this right now because we're busy and we're kind of damaged, so we won't do it right now. Imrik, you're going to move up northward. And if the remnants of that little Chaos Dwarf faction retake the gates of Jar, you will deal with them before moving back down to Kugath. It's only a matter of time. He's looking really strong now, though he is fighting various factions. Seems like a good time to attack him, but only after we peace out with the Drippin' Fangs. Alright, that looks good to me. Arathon, you are briefly going to enter Val's Anvil. And I think we'll get rid of one of the archer units. Mostly because we already have a lot of archers. There we go. And into here to help him heal up. Yeah, I really needed the noble. Plus, with you in the army, at least your upkeep production is, well, it's there. Alright, and with you sitting there, I believe we're good to end the turn once more. There's no diplomacy to do, and yes, I know I check it constantly, multiple times a turn, but that's just the way I am, folks. Burning Wind Nomads, now still you're an enemy of some of our potential friends. You know what? Declare war on the Scourge of Cain. Non-aggression pact, money, trade, good. Keep Eltharion friendly. Because if they're unfriendly, they won't want to confederate if they get obliterated by something. And we certainly want to be able to confederate them. Rest of that looks good to me, so let's end the turn once again. Ooh, wait, I didn't realize that Imrik had leveled. Imrik, get Dragon Pact so that you now have fire of your own. In addition to Menaethnir's fire. And finally, let's get Piercing Bolts of Burning. Let's double up on it. Next up, the Noble. No more Replenished Troops alas, so we can go for Weapon Master. And now we're good. We should also probably get some nobles to just spam Secure Influence, because, yeah. There is also... We could start using some influence to try to make Goldtooth friendlier with us. I wonder how strong they are. Wait, let's see how good they are. I don't mind leaving the Mountains of Morn to them, but if they really, really hate us, it's going to be a waste. Well, they don't have that many territories. Minus 35, eh? How much... Is it plus 10 or plus 20 if we intrigue at court with Goldtooth? If I can find you in here... There it is. 11 influence. I mean, as an experiment, we could do this once and see how much this gives us. Huh? Did I not? I guess I didn't. Improve relations. There we go. A poem. Our kin take great store in words and verse. Send a poet to the estates of Cacao Campaign, event incident, second target, blah blah blah. So that they may sing a verse commissioned by us of the great relations between them and Cacao Campaign, event incident, first target faction. And that gave us 20. That's not so bad. Alright, fine, let's double up on it. Huh? Does it not work twice in a row? I clicked it twice, wait. Maybe we have to redo it. Goldtooth? Through relations? Yeah, you can do it twice. And that puts him up to 40. Alright, that makes us reasonably friendly with Goldtooth. The thing is, Goldtooth generally trades with Cathay since Greasy and Jiaoming are buddies, so why not? Outpost available, ignored, building upgrade available, and the turn. Alright, moment of truth. Will Kugath declare war on us? Now will Clan Moors declare war on us? Now 'tis only a matter of time. I see Ironbrow's expedition are moving around. Gotta be careful of them sailing up towards us as well. But we have a decent amount of rats, and undead, and water, and other stuff between them and us. Though anti-player bias is absolutely real. As in, remains real. We saw it in the Kislev campaign. Malice ignoring everybody to go and try to attack us. Passing through territories that he was at war at to try to kill us. Anyway, Theoden, up here please. And this faction should be destroyed, yes? Oh, look at that. Little beastman army. Yeah, this faction's dead. Imrik, kill.
The Star Lance strikes.
And we'll auto-resolve this, because, let's face it, that's just pathetic. And down you go, little fella, and... Ooh, 8% heal will heal us completely to full. You know what? I think we'll take it. It's 1,000 gold. But it'll enable us to not worry about the High Elven Rangers in the next auto-resolve, so Forced Labor. Alright, then... We're going to... Wait, are you able to switch stances? Yes, alright, so you're going to travel this way. You're going to travel this way as well. Honestly, I'd love to destroy this little Beastman faction, and if they try to raid our territory, we probably will, but we still need to move towards the Dripping Fangs. Enemy killed, courageous, another Scroll of Amber, and another Bard as well. Okay, so the second Scroll of Amber... Oh, I thought we had a second one. Wait. Scroll of Amber. Oh, Scroll of Aramar and Scroll of Amber. Damn. Close, but not quite. Oh, I played myself. Looks like nothing here that we want to turn into other items. What we can do, however, is give Michaela the... I was about to say give her the Helm of Discord, but you know what? I think the other army could probably use it a little bit more than our army. I mean, we'll give the other Trickster Shard to you, though. But this army needs a lot more help, and... Tyrion's all the way up here, eh? Huh, go figure. I was potentially thinking about pushing up towards Toran like Enish the Shrine of Cain, but it looks like these guys are doing fairly okay up there. Which once again makes me think that Toralir is the way to go. Not this turn perhaps, but shortly. Alright, you can then ignore the... Oh, you have the Armor of Fortune. Alright, let's give the Helm of Discord to you. We'll probably have to send it back to Imrik's army in the... When's a magic power less than 50%? Yeah, this wouldn't be useful to you either. Send it back to Imrik when we fight the dragon battle.
Effortless for such as I.
You can then have the Sacred Incense. When's a magic power less than 50%? Everybody gets missile resistance. It's pretty solid in my opinion. There's also the Book of the Phoenix, but I mean, it's a free bound ability. We can... You know what? Let's pop it on the other guy for now, rather than the Shrieking Blade Erathond. Have the Book of the Phoenix temporarily. And we'll give your guy the Terrifying Mask of E. Like so. And neither of you can use the Scroll of Aramar, because you've no casters. Yeah. And we'll probably give that Book of the Phoenix back to Michaela later, but that Fiery Convocation is just too good. And I don't want to miss out on the other Trickster Shard either. Alright, I hope I did that right. Anyway, Bel Harathor. Continue southward. We're very much down the coastline now. Oh! Wait a moment. There's a way to check whether Teclis is alive. Usually he gets pretty friendly with the... No, he is alive. Order of Lore Masters. Beautiful. Ooh. Alright, we gotta get down there quick. I think... More likely than not, he's either up here or up here. Because Kairos has clearly taken over most of this stuff. And if only we could get vision, if we could get vision of the last defenders, they would be giving us the Order of Lore Masters, but there's no way to get that non-aggression pact. Huh, wait. Yellow territories, wait, that means Teclis is probably here? No, wait, that could be his own territory as well. This is Latland, so this is his own territory. Green, this is Talaqua. This is all red, meaning Kairos is here. Oh, Teclis is here. It's green here. That's where he is. Well, it looks like we have no choice but to find Kairos then. It's better than letting Teclis die, even though it's going to cause such a freaking hassle dealing with Kairos. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, towards the Thigh, we have no choice but to build the homestead here, but we'll need to reduce the construction costs, so let's rebuild that splendor. Imrik. What can we build here that we can... Yeah, you're fine. We're waiting on you. And we are not waiting on you any further, but there's also nothing to build here, which is why we're in Tribute to the Phoenix King. Collect income. I know, it's -3, but... I think we need it. Way to upgrade you, and we are waiting on you as well, and you're growing just fine, even though the public order is hurting me. It's physically hurting me. I'm very tempted to get rid of the militia camp here. I mean, if somebody attacks this place, the militia camp won't help that much, and we can build it in another province, while here we could build either more public order, we could build another elven artisan, since it's our big money-making territory. Probably the way to go. In fact, the elven artisans are probably not the best investment in the early game, just because the public order is such an issue, and we may be better off building spamming promenades everywhere, though they are actually more expensive than the artisans are. Demolish it for now. Alright, and I believe that's all we gotta do this turn, so skip, and end it. And let's see if these guys revive at Howling Rock by the time we get there, though we are swiftly running out of time once more. Also, let's see what these bloody... I always regret not destroying a Beastman army, so I'm kind of already regretting sort of bypassing them, but we'll see where they go and what they do. Huh, was that always there, or did it appear? Was this a camp? Nah, it looks like part of the terrain. They're going to raid the Overlords of Jard, or not the Overlords of Jarduk, the Conclave. Oh, that's fine, we can ignore that for now. Though we'll want to steal that Great Temple of Hashut, where later on, Karakazorn destroyed, presumably, by Grimgor rather than Goldtooth. Huh. Yeah, be at war with Crooked Moon, eh? Oh, they've taken the World's Edge Archway. And oh my. Look at this. Karakazul is basically destroyed. That's Clan Moors right here. They're going to declare war on us soon. I think we have no choice but to build defenses here then. Darn. Not right now, perhaps, because we can't reduce the cost, but we're gonna need to. You know, Imrik is just as interesting, in a just as interesting position as Kislev is, in my opinion. You know, we're gonna have to travel fast, so we're gonna march stance up here. Just gotta make sure we can follow up with Phaedian. And move. We can't spend too long up here, and we can't overextend by taking these territories, so we'll take the Blasted Expanse or the Howling Rock, occupy it, possibly trade it back to these guys for money, and then move back down here. How strong are the Crooked Moon? We should probably attempt to prevent them from getting stronger. In fact, Mount Gunbat is a really nice territory. It's got a gold mine, it's kind of nestled in the mountains, so if we take all of this for ourselves, and then make friends with Karazakarak and Karak Kadrin, we can give Karak Kadrin territories to the north of us with the exception of the Servants of the Conclave stuff, which would be ours. Certainly, I think, a decent way to go about it. Anyway, Sawyer here, please. Reduce that, reduce the construction cost. You will need to switch briefly to rebuild Lost Splendors. We'll be able to build something here. Next up, what do we have here at Ashridge Mountains? Nothing. At least not for this turn. Was that all the provinces? And I get confused as to what needs to be built where. Oh, this place. Yeah, that's fine. What about this place? Yeah, we can upgrade the Haven at the Tower of Gorgoth. Really tempted to collect the income here for a little while. -8 with the plaza, with the stone walls, with no corruption. -8. Damn. Alright, for a few turns. We need money to actually build up our stuff. And yeah, we need this army to do something. It can't be sitting here wasting our cash like this. We're going to move to Toralier. Oh, wow. I don't think you can actually take Toralier. I mean, we could if we force a field battle. I mean, you certainly can't take a gate, at least not without artillery. We could go over here and raid them, but the other High Elves might not appreciate it so much. Any new island spawns around here? We still have that mysterious island, but that's not what we wanted. I
will see to it.
What do we have here again? Lots of cav, lots of... Yeah, the White Lions and the Lothern Seaguard would win without artillery. Or without more eagles, but we can't afford more eagles right now. Also, if we leave the settlement, we lose 350 gold per turn. Kind of iffy. You know, maybe we ignore them for now. You sit here. Sit here for a few turns. I haven't decided exactly what we're going to do with you. Maybe what we would do is sort of build you into Quartermaster as soon as possible. Get Merchant Lord, for example. Well, I mean after Militia Master, because that basically buffs up the entire blob of units that you have.
Can I assist you?
I could also wait until Noctilus leaves the Galleon's graveyard, but this is all potential stuff that we'll get to later. Anyway, Bel Harathoy. You've still got...
Seek land.
What is this? Bel Cargo? I don't know if it's a fight, but I do know that I'd like you to move there.
On.
Hey, free stuff. Barrel of rum. Thank you, thank you. Another wax-sealed rations. Not the best, but at least you got... I think we got a little bit of cash out of that. I hope so, anyway. Anyway, skip, and that seems like another end turn to me. Hopefully before we get war declarations from here, 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 and here. Oh. But that's what made the Kislev campaign amazing, so I think I wouldn't be too upset. Alright, will anybody declare war on us right now? Grimgor's still running around there. Perhaps Key will move towards the warhost of Jar, and then we won't have to deal with him at the current time. And of course, it remains to be seen. And we got Northern Provinces confederated the Dissenter Lords of Jin Shan, huh? Thought they didn't like each other. Sword of Cain claimed by Tyrion, hardly surprising. New World colonies destroyed by the Lizards. Karak Azul completely fallen now, and we're surrounded by Karak, or not Karak. We're surrounded by Clan Moors. These guys still don't want a peace, eh? Alright. I guess... I'm just wondering whether we should occupy it or sack it. How much sack value does this thing have? 651, basically nothing. And maybe we still want to sack it anyway. And then have Phaedian take it over. I guess the question is this actually worth fighting? It's gonna be a small battle, but I fear that there's no other battle to be had in this particular episode. Also, you can switch to Noble Prestige. So maybe we fight it, especially since it's a minor settlement. Go here. And then we move southward. Yeah, seems like the way to do it. Alrighty, let's do one more fight of this episode. We'll level up the Noble one more time, and you, sir, can have... It's hard to get more worth it than Speed of Asuryan. I do like the speed, as I've mentioned. Let's get Speed of Asuryan. Why not? And Phaedian, you can level up as well. You're level 10 now. Ooh, you get a dedication. You know what? We'll figure out the dedication next episode, because I don't want to waste too much time reading through all of them right now, as the bigger episodes take way longer to upgrade as well. Upload, rather. Go.
Dragons!
Ah, he said for the dragons last battle as well. Maybe now that he has Menaethir as a mount, he just says for the dragons only, all the time. Well, now the dragons are going to show off a little bit. Another one of those star dragon breaths coming down from Menaethir into the enemy boar boys down here, and to be followed up with a second dragon breath as well. Star dragon followed by sun dragon. Eventually we'll have a moon dragon to do their breath as well. And those boar boys ain't having a very good time at all, especially as they can do nothing about that. And once they've been softened up by the dragon's breaths, here come the dragon princes to clean house and enter the fray. A few more of the boar boys are attempting to side charge or flank our dragon princes. We're going to stop them in their tracks with a little bit of vortex action with a flame storm right in the middle of them, while Imrik and the star dragon get ready to jump on down. There we go. The big old boars that the orcs use are a pretty good meal for a star dragon if it really wanted to eat that kind of thing. And depends. I always thought that one of the reasons that the dragons, or the Caledorian dragons, like the elves, they're kind of similar, you know? Dragons and elves are both long-lived and very prideful and arrogant. Dragons are definitely the same way, and Imrik being very much all of that is probably why he's got such a special relationship with them. Anyway, Imrik comes down, and between them and the Dragon Princes, we're having a pretty good day down here. Not going to be a difficult battle by any means by the looks of it, but I didn't want to end the episode without a little bit more Dragon Breath action. We've separated the rest of our army, including our new Dynamo Noble here, who will... who once again looks pretty great in that color scheme. But anyway, who we've separated into starting to assault the settlement over on this side, but it doesn't look like the enemy has sufficient troops to really menace the rest of the army. The High Elven Rangers, by virtue of being a faster moving unit, have moved in to reinforce the Dragon Princes, and they certainly do run pretty quick with all those speed upgrades that we got for them. 56 speed on the High Elven Rangers. I doubt they'll ever reach the kind of run speed that Sigvald did, because, well, we probably don't want them to, because I'll then spend half of the campaign just laughing about how fast they run. Oh yeah, there we go. Menaethnir is happy about all the dragon-packed piercing bolts of burning and dropping around him from Imrik. There we go. A lovely sight. Anyway, it looks like this enemy army is very much on the back foot now. The Dragon Princes have by and large destroyed the Boar Boys, and now the Orc Boys are trapped in between the... well, not really a hammer and anvil, so much as a hammer and hammer of Dragon Princes and Elven Rangers as well. Also, the massive amount of speed on the Elven Rangers essentially allows them to run down their foes, acting kind of like pseudo-cav, which is really great because it allows our Dragon Princes to continue fighting when not needing to act as chasers of enemies. Looks like a few of the orcs did want to sally out. One Boar Boy unit attempted to reach the line of spears, but failed at doing so, and now the regular orc boys will fail to do the same. And we'll turn just as only a few of them manage to reach our line. Noble's like, hey, get back here. Though it looks like most of them will get arrowed down before the Noble can do too much. I'm gonna get a few arrows in his own back as well, but hopefully that armor will hold. Anyway, looks like we're heading into the enemy settlement now. Let's speed it up a teensy bit and then drop down on some more orc boys here. I'm actually surprised that this enemy army hasn't chain routed as yet, because clearly they've absolutely no chance remaining. Especially since they couldn't even do anything against our sort of infantry line without the elite's presence. On the bright side, there's a nice little chance for Menaethnir and the Sun Dragon here to work together a little bit. There we go. I will never get tired of that animation. Nor the little sort of close combat dragon breaths that these guys do. I do wish that they would update the animations for certain characters. In fact, basically all of the older characters really need animation updates. Imrik, being a dragon rider and with a star lance, should really actually be using that lance in combat. Most of the older lords on mounts don't actually do anything while on mounts and sort of just sit there. And don't get me wrong, Menaethnir is a flashy fighter, being a dragon and whatnot, but Imrik should really be using his lance. And dragon riders are also supposed to have lances that are long enough so that they can use them on dragonback. This lance is too short by a bit, and should be used in combat as well, because that's just the way it is in the lore. Well, either way, it looks like that Orc Boys unit is done for. I think only a single unit of Error Boys remain. Oh, another unit of Night Gobbo Archers remains on the field as well, but I don't imagine either one will be on the field for too much longer. One last charge from the Dragon Princes into these Orc Error Boys will send them running, and the battle will be ours again. Lovely. Chase them down, have some fun, train your dragon princes, I guess. Alright, there we go. Easy little fight with massive amounts of damage on Imrik. The combination of that Star Dragon Breath as well as his new access to that piercing bolts of burning means he suddenly amped up his damage game. We're going to sack the place because we want to maintain Imrik's movement range, and then we're going to occupy it with Phaedian,
They will die.
like so. Then, what I'd like to see... You're still not willing to peace out. What if we give you back Howling Rock? No, not yet. Alright, well, I guess we're going to have to knock out another one of their territories. We can trade them all, potentially, to Karak Kadrin, who don't particularly like us, but, well, they'll like us a lot more if we trade them a bunch of stuff, I'm willing to bet. And they can deal with the whole Darklands thing, because we got bigger fish to fry as we are surrounded by foes. Anyway, folks, with that, we are out of time, and I am going to call the episode here. We really need to get that archive up and running ASAP as well. Anyway, I'm going to call the episode here. Next time we will hopefully peace out with the Drippin' Fangs and then get new enemies to fight. We may also fight the first of the dragon battles. I'm not entirely sure as yet because I remember it being a difficult one, if that's the one that I'm remembering, if I'm remembering correctly. Though on the other hand, considering the relative ease with which we've been defeating other foes, it may be a decent thing to do. And we are at full HP, and I don't imagine these guys will present any kind of difficulty to us, so there is that. Also, does this give us any money? No. But the Lamaro's blood will be a pretty big buff. Certainly worth consideration. Anyway, more Imrik to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold. And once again, if we maintain it, we will have a double episode tomorrow. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.